panels, noted that how these corruptors are really bad because they're putting lots of people in poor, thousands of billions of people becoming poor because of these corruptors that only focus and care about their life. We're talking about how millions of children cannot pursue their education. We're talking about how there are millions of babies who suffer because of these corruptors, where they have taken other people's life. Therefore, jail is not enough for them. Our goal in closing government is simple. We want to prove you why then it is justified to impoverish these corruptors, right? Our model, or what makes us different from opening government, is that we will not making them become normal people, but instead we will become them a lower class people, for example, a labor, ladies and gentlemen. But even if the vulnerable actors, they will be created in the future, for example, their children in pursuing their education, right? We think that scholarship are currently exist. And remember how these children live in a great privilege for years and didn't even knowing that it is hamper thousands of people. We said that it is justified to begin with. Also, we will take all of the things that they corrupt, and second of all, they will be freeze their assets so that they no longer have the power in the state or any parties, for example, right? 2 points of argument I'm going to bring in this debate. Number one, why it is principally justified, and second, why the mechanism under our side of the house will be very beneficial. But before that, let's see the cases from opening opposition. Opening opposition basically talk the idea on why then it is not justified to make these corruptors suffer. They don't want to make anyone suffer at the end of the day. I don't think it is significant when we talk about corruptors, ladies and gentlemen. Remember when these people take others people's life, take others people's right in order to make them become more even rich, when these corruptors only considering how they can get lots of money, for example, to pursue their needs, right? How these corruptors take their other people right to be able to be able to have a proper education, for example. I don't think that it is not justified to make these kind of people suffering. If that is the case, the opposition want to prove that they want to bring this idea of human rights or access. I don't think that it fits to the motion. Therefore, the idea cannot be stand anymore. But second of all, OO also want to create less spending because they believe that these ex-corruptors will become unemployed or poor. It will become the burden of the government. Because at the end of the day, the likelihood of them become a criminal will likely to happen. I don't think that it will be the burden of the government when they cannot be able to handle this thing that exists, right? Because we believe that jail, other punishment are exist. Courts are accessed in every area, ladies and gentlemen. Therefore, the burden that the opposition trying to propose to you is not only going to happen under our side of the house. But even if let's say in the very best scenario where these ex-corruptors become a villain or criminal, right? I don't think that it will happen because the characterization of these corruptors, where the people are higher education, they will not fit to other type of criminal, ladies and gentlemen, because they don't have the possibility to attack other people directly. Therefore, we believe that even if let's say that they still be able to do it, right? Again, we believe that they don't have any power to actually support this kind of activity, right? But now but what makes us different from opening government? Opening government only characterize these corruptors in terms of money, right? Where OG want these corruptors need to be pay back the money that they have been stolen. Moreover, what's like from opening government is that they only focusing this punishment from the corruptors with only massive repeat, right? Meanwhile, we think that it is not significant because in corruptors they also create a social disaster. For example, people who corrupt BLT, for example, for 1,000 of people. How these corruptors abuse the help of the government. Therefore, it is not significant when you characterize all these corruptors, right? Because there is no any explanation coming from the opening government how those money will be accessed where these corruptors already use it for their needs, such as build a house, their asset, and etc. Considering this, we believe that we are more great in proving you that how this is very justified to make these people impoverished, right? But now let's talk about my argument on how that first we believe that it will be it will justify to do it, right? Now let's talk about the first idea on how that we believe that it will create a deterrent effect. Because what we believe in that the only way to give a deterrent effect for them is by making them feel in the same position as the people that have been poor, for example, ladies and gentlemen, because they have taken the right to be able other people right, for example, meaning that the only way is by giving or let them feel or become poor, ladies and gentlemen. Whether it can create a deterrent effect at the end of the day, right? Because we believe by freezing their assets so they don't have any power or privilege to support their life, it will create a deterrent effect for them in the future. Because by only rehabilitating them, for example, or need them to pay back, for example, we don't think that it will create enough deterrent effect for them, and we say that it is justified to begin with remember that how evil they are to the society, right? Therefore, freezing their assets can make them realize because they don't have enough support coming from their environment, for example. Moreover, under our side of the house, the outcome will be better at the end of the day, right? Why is that so? Because we believe First, it will give them a same level of what they have been doing, ladies and gentlemen, because by becoming poor, meaning that you will have a same position as the people that as a society, right? Second of all, the corruptors will not likely to happen anymore under our side of the house, because these people will see that the moment when you become a corruptors, meaning that you will become a poor society at the end of the day, right? Therefore, the corruptors will not likely to happen under our side of the house. But third of all, we believe that all people or society who suffer because of these corruptors will at least feel happy, because they know exactly that these corruptors people will not be able to support their life as they have in the past, right? Therefore, the deterrent effect will more likely to happen under our side of the house. But second of all, let's talk about the idea of how then human rights. We believe that it will give us human rights for all society, right? We think that it is justified because society will see will see that the government policy are actually fair for all the society, right? Because we cannot deny the fact that society really hate this corruptors that actually exist, right? But next, why to the second argument on how and why our mechanism will be very beneficial in the future. We believe that it is first, this punishment or freezing their asset is hard and justified to begin with. But why is that so, ladies and gentlemen? Because we don't have any other way that can make them get or back into the vital position, for example, or in politics, for example. Moreover, they don't have enough money or model to at least become a politician, for example, in the future, right? Meaning that the likelihood for them to create a bad impact to others will not likely to happen under our side of the house, ladies and gentlemen. But moreover, we believe that because of we believe they also create for the potential corruptors in the future, right? The next corruptors will have much of time to even think to do corruptor, because they know that the impact that at the end of the day will going to be happen to them, right? Moreover, they know that their love, for example, their children, their wife will not be able to have a proper life in the future. It tells you that the potential corruptors at the end of the day will not be accessed anymore under our side of the house, ladies and gentlemen. Therefore, we say that by freezing their asset, making them become a lower class society is justified, because there are too many harmful coming from these corruptors. Ladies and gentlemen, from all this research, we are very proud to support the motion. Thank you.
If we can prove you how it is justified enough for the government to take the life of the corruptors and make them suffer, then we can win this debate. But before that, let's see the cases that comes from the OG. So, for the first one, there is no characterization about the corruptors or the kind of corruption itself, or how much suffering that they have done to others. In our side of the house, there is a characterization that has been brought by my partner, and this is where the case closing government can prove you how it is justified for them. Corruptors have suffered millions of people's life. This human rights violation brought by Jen then stands in this debate. So for the second one, how they are going to analyze the wealth of the corruptor. And if we take a look in the reality now, the wealth of the corruptor itself is already in a form of houses, cars, and etc. So there is no way that the corruptor will change or pay back the money exactly, and even added a couple of percents of what they must return. And for the third one, the OG is making a proposal to make corruptors to make them to a normal level of people. But we think that is not effective, because if they just make them into the level of normal people, they would not have the feeling of suffering to the point where they are in a poor state. Therefore, in our side of the house is better, because we would make them suffer to the point that only they can fulfill their fundamental needs, like lower class of people, for example, like working as a manual labor with low payments and so on and so forth. Let's move on to the opening opposition's case. So for the first one, they said that the both sides are harmful. They say that corruption will still happen on the both sides of the house. But if in our side of the house, the chances of cases of corruption to happen will be lesser, and the other side of the house cases will be higher. Because if we are going to impoverish the corruptors, it will make the other corruptors to think twice, 3 times, or even more. So it will really make all the corruptors to stop doing the corruptions. And even more, they will think it again, because if they are being impoverished, the effects or the impacts will be felt by their family or their loved one, like their mother, their brothers, or their wife, or their children. And for the second one, they brought the idea of the rehabilitation, but they didn't bring any justification of why the rehab is better. And even more, rehabilitation needs a lot of money considering like the facilities that they have to provide, the skilled professionals to guide them or to help them, and etc. Moreover, by doing rehab, it is like forgiving the corruptor, because corruption itself is not like the drug addiction. They or the people that do the drug, that when they are caught, they are actually being forgiven by being rehabilitated and to get back to the normal state of life. If we take a comparison with the drug dealer that has been present, it is really different because the drug dealer itself will harm the society, not just individual people. So this is why our model is significant. The flaw within the realization of rehabilitation can be solved by how it is good under our side to really punish them and freeze their assets. Under the crossing government, the spending to punish will not be made or created, which is going to be very beneficial to the government in taking control of the corruptors. So, why does they are not fitted to be rehabilitated? Because they are not mentally ill. They already know the risk because they come from the educated background and etc. They just mainly greedy and ungrateful. That is just the nature of the human nature. Even in the current situation, even if they are being rehabilitated, the people could commit the same crime again and again. And even more, rehabilitation will bring an effect just for one individual. The effect will be felt by the only one that has been rehabilitated. But in our solution, we could make many people feel the effect. And the likelihood of the corruptors to do other crimes will not be happen because they are just not built for other crimes or they did not have the skills to do so. Like for example, if they want to be a drug dealer, they just don't have the network or the people that they can get the drug or to sell to who. And for the second one, if they want to be a thug, they just simply not trained to do so because they don't have the strength or power to be a thug. And the opening opposition to brought the idea from the OG that they say the OG has taken or violated the human rights if they want to impoverish the corruptor. But in reality, they are violating the human rights of other people, not just one, but millions of people. Consider the money that they have taken for the children to study or have an education. Consider the money that they have taken from the sick people to have treatments and medical medicine. This proves you that the corruptor is the first one in the first place to violate the human rights, and by that it is just justified to impoverish the corruptors. So let's build a comparison. In under our side of the house, the corruptors will be prevented. Why? Because we have made a deterrent effect. They will see that how the corruptors they have been treated. They will be impoverished. So the other corruptors will be reduced, or the corruptors will be reduced. And for the second one, the deterrent effect will be created. Why? Like I said earlier, the people will feel scared. They won't do the corruptions anymore. And for the third one, the society who happens to be the victim are going to be protected and prioritized. Why? Like I said earlier, the corruption will be reduced, and then like the help or the money that the people should have, they will get that money because of the minimized of amount of the corruptors. And for the fourth one, it will create a just and a fair environment for all the society. Why? It is because the corruption is reduced. But under their side of the house, the corruption will not be prevented. Why? The deterrent effect is small. They will still likely do the corruption. And for the second one, the deterrent effect will not be created, like I said earlier, because they are not scared just because of the solution that they propose is just to be rehab. They will say, oh, it's just to be rehab, we won't scared about that. They will still do it. And for the third one, the society who happens to be the victim are not going to be protected. Why? There will be still more and more corruptors. So they will not be protected. And the fourth one, it will not create a just or a fair environment. Why? Again, because the corruption will be still there. They will still take the society's money. And with all of that reasons, we are proudly to support this motion.